Welcome to episode 3 of Tsuyoku Naritai, the Becoming Stronger podcast. The purpose of this series is to help myself and others become stronger in the art of rationality, to fix problems that stand between us and not sucking at life. Each weekly episode will consist of me walking through a particular technique of rationality designed for you to follow along. It will follow my progress in a new Rationality dojo that we have started here in Kansas City. Unless otherwise stated, you can jump right into whatever episode you happen to have stumbled across, but I do recommend at least listening to episode 1 for the foundation of the course. For those of you following along in our source material, see the description, you will notice that today's episode is a piece of original content. Our dojo has a resident in the field of therapy who was inspired by last week's conversation on Yoda timers. He noticed a subtle difference between what he called Yoda problems and Nike problems. The former is a kind of problem that you lack the confidence to fix, whereas Nike problems are problems that you simply lack the willpower to just do it. This phenomenon is also known as acrasia. While both techniques can often be used for the same problems, Yoda timers specialize in fixing Yoda problems, whereas today's technique specializes in Nike problems. Before jumping into the technique itself, it's important to establish a couple premises. The first premise is a particular linear model of how people change. It consists of 5 stages. Stage 1, pre-contemplation. This is where you are before you have even noticed that there is a problem. You have yet to bring it to conscious attention. Stage 2, contemplation. The problem has arisen to conscious attention, but you have yet to begin trying to solve it. Stage 3, preparation. You have decided to try and resolve the problem. Stage 4, action. You are in the process of resolving the problem. Stage 5, maintenance. The problem has been resolved. Now you have to keep it resolved. The second premise is that one of the biggest roadblocks between stage 2, contemplation, and stage 3, preparation, is something called ambivalence. You make excuses as to why it's not worth your time to resolve the problem, why you should sustain yourself in the current situation. The third premise is how your brain works. Your brain consists of countless synaptic pathways, and the more you use particular pathways, the easier it is for those pathways to fire in the future. Think of them like literal trails in a forest, being worn down from traffic, or muscles that you have trained over time. The fourth premise is that humans are contrarian by nature. If you challenge most people, they will have an innate desire to argue with you about it. Spend 5 minutes on social media and you'll see what I mean. So, the technique, called Motivational Interviewing, MI for short, consists of changing the way we approach our issues once we have begun the contemplation stage. It is designed to motivate us to move on to the preparation and action stages. The simplified version of the technique is to take any given problem that you find a lack of motivation to fix. Perhaps it is a very large project that was not felled by Yoda timers from last week. Maybe it's a simple task that you are confident you can fix, but it's highly unpleasant and you haven't even tried to fix it yet. Maybe it's a recurring thing that you must do and you find yourself starting strong, but then letting your gym membership lapse after a few weeks. We will use I want to exercise routinely as my personal example. Now that you have identified a problem or a goal or some kind of change you are trying to make, create a physical or digital list of all the positive benefits you will acquire from fixing the problem. Specifically, we will follow a series of 4 prompts, which you can remember through the acronym DARN, D-A-R-N. Desire, where you affirm your desire to make the change. Ability, where you state your confidence that you will be able to accomplish the change. Reason, where you state the reasons why you want to make the change. And need, where you state the obligation to make the change. And so these phrases will reinforce the neural pathways that connect with the motivation to do the thing. We will use my bug of not exercising as an example. My desire statement is, I want to exercise every morning. My ability statement is, I can wake up sufficiently early in order to do this. My reason statement is, I will be able to run faster and have more stamina. I will live longer and look better, and it will contribute to having a routine. My need statement is, if I wish to acquire these goals, I need to pull myself out of bed and make this happen. At some point, both during the list-making process and afterwards, you will find yourself thinking things such as, yeah, but that's so much work, or yeah, but it will cost more money, or yeah, but I really don't want to get out of bed right now. This is where we are going to tap into your natural contrarian nature and quash the ambivalence to prevent you from sustaining the current state of affairs. Whenever you think these sustain statements, these yeah, but statements, respond with something akin to, so it's okay that I continue gorging myself on junk food into an early grave? Your natural response will be, of course not. Include this interaction at the bottom of your list. I will provide mine as an example. Since I am such a fan of 5-minute timers, I would encourage you to do this for at least 5 minutes per problem. It's okay if you spend more than 5 minutes, but spend a minimum of 5. Let's call it a Nike timer. When you have created this list, make it easily viewable. Maybe put it on your front door, but move it around every few days so you don't tune it out. In the wise words of the great philosopher Shia LaBeouf, just do it.